The 2-minute message preview this week at the non-denominational New Hope Olympia is the truth behind antisemitism. Why are the Jews hated? Recently, as a result of the Israel-Hamas conflict, representatives from the far-left group known as the Squad tried to denounce our closest ally Israel, calling it an apartheid state, which means a racist state. Within days, the same anti-Israel sentiment spilled into several major U.S. cities. For example, college students were at Times Square for a pro-Israel demonstration when a Jewish man heading to the same rally was beaten and kicked while anti-Semitic slurs were hurled at him. A Brooklyn man was charged with arson after attempting to set a synagogue and Jewish school on fire. In Boca Raton, Florida, a van drove through a pro-Israel rally with the words "Hitler was right" written across the window, as those inside waved a Palestinian flag, and one wore a shirt with a Nazi symbol on it. In Los Angeles, people got out of a car outside a restaurant and began asking who was Jewish. The words "dirty Jew" were heard, and then glass bottles were thrown at the table. The wave of anti-Semitism is sweeping across the country and around the world. The House voted overwhelmingly a few days ago to pass a resolution declaring solidarity with Israel, pledging to give its government whatever security assistance it needs to fight and win its war with Hamas. The 412-10 vote was the first legislation considered under Speaker Mike Johnson, Republican of Louisiana. It seems that Israel is always at center stage in the world scene, and that's because God is at center stage and God backs Israel. Throughout history, people have hated the Lord and His people. One day, all history will culminate in the Holy Land as Israel takes center stage yet again for the commencing of the apocalypse and the return of Christ. In Psalm chapter 33 and verse 12, the Bible says, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people He has chosen as His inheritance." This goes for both Israel and her allies. Our country will be blessed so long as we support Israel, but should we stop, our nation will perish. Around the world and close to home, protesters are taking their rhetoric against the Jewish community to the streets. Violent language and calls to action targeting Israel are no longer hidden but spoken aloud for all to hear. In his weekend message, Pastor Dell will explain why the Jews are hated so much as he traces the roots of antisemitism. For the rest of the story, here is Pastor Dell.